I ran across something the other day that I hadn't ever heard before from Ramana. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. It's very reminiscent of Byron Katie when she says, there's this business, there is the other business, and there's God's business. Apparently, Ramana said, remember that nothing that happens in the mind is you. And none of it is your business. Amen. Hard to, hard to, hard one to live. Challenging, right? We're very entertained, incredibly entertained by the mind world. The 9 billion mind worlds and their interactions and their conglomerations and their spawn. And it's endless. It's endless entertainment. I remember the minute this woke up to the arrogance of that. I remember the minute where the dawning of like, whoa, the arrogance of the intellectual conceptual mind. Wow. I'm not against intellectualism or conceptualism when it's in service to the creative intelligence that animates the universe. When it's a faculty of awareness and love rather than conditioned belief and war. Then we have, the beauty of creation in the image of the divine through a human creation in the image of the divine, which is our birthright. But we're very enamored, we're very unconsciously, it's not a failure, it's not I hope I'm not like seeding despair. It just has to be faced in the passage from self-consciousness, self-reflexiveness, the false self, to the, I don't even know how to talk about, all I can say is to responsive immediacy. From that transition, it has to be faced. It has to be faced. And it doesn't mean that one becomes, what did I hear Audra say one time? Dumber than a doormat or something like that. It doesn't mean that one becomes dumber than a doormat. Oh dear. Our minds will tell us anything to get us to go back to the way it was. Status quo. It might be bad, but it's all I know. There's an intelligence, a wisdom beyond the thinking mind that each and every one of us can take refuge in and begin to do our best to live from and as. So this communion with the infinite is not another trip around the whole like mind over matter. I'm not talking about an individual mind world, one of the bubbles, one of the mind world informers, delusional, divided mind over matter, who all of a sudden, a spiritual ego that is like going to behave as God and, all of that stuff. It's just, I very much get that there, the placebo effect. I mean, it's all over the place. The placebo effect, this kind of thing. We can use our minds to uh, attain more and more healthy states of ego. I get that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a complete loss of all of that, where one has an inner silence of mind. Maybe not all the time. I'm not saying you're a terrible person. You should just get off the path and never come back to satsang or meditate or anything like that ever again because your mind isn't quiet. That's not what I'm saying. You can tune into that radio station anytime you like. Here, for some reason, I don't know, that station was unavailable for at least a couple of years. And so there is absolutely no belief left here that it's needed for reality. Oh dear. And I don't really care whether it's on or not. It's like music playing in the grocery store. I don't need the music to be turned off in order to go grocery shopping to benefit from, the abundance of the universe. The chatter chatters sometimes, but who's listening? What's listening? Go there. Reorient. Go there. And allow, just like, take refuge, come home, return. It will feel, what did Meister Eckhart say? Somebody I'm sure on this call knows. The way feels familiar and enjoyable and free or something like that. I've talked a long way around. I'm hope that and maybe we can talk about it more in the second hour. I hope that there is some kind of either curiosity or understanding or I don't know, spark around this difference. There's a difference between someone acting as God's agent, rearranging their mind, doing this, doing that, making things better. All good. All good. I'm not like self-help is great. It's just not what I'm talking about. It's just not what this teaching is on fire with. It's not, it can be interwoven with what I'm speaking about. It can be inspired and guided from the deeper intelligence, all the self-help programs. An inner silence of mind, a giving over, a responsive immediacy, a empty infinity from which all possibilities, all potential is available. Just gonna read from Aja here to close up. And then we'll come back. We'll come back and hopefully people want to talk a little bit. Where? Oh, I may have lost it. I had it. It was so good about our potential is something that can flower only when we are no longer caught within the influence and limitations of what we think we know. Beyond the realm of the mind, beyond the limitations of humanity's conditioned consciousness, lies that which can be called the sacred. And it is from the sacred that a new and fluid consciousness is born. That fluid consciousness is what I'm calling responsive immediacy. That wipes away the old and brings to life the flowering of a living and undivided expression of being. A living and undivided expression of being. Not a person, an expression of being. Such an expression is neither personal nor impersonal, neither spiritual nor worldly, but rather the flowering of existence itself beyond all notions of self. Yeah. There's some really, really full on appearances right now. Full on. I'm not talking about closing down our hearts. Just give me a little bit more time here. I've been talking a long time, but that's not, it can start sounding like that, like very transcendent. Child rape does not matter. It's all God's will. I'm not saying that, and I hope you don't hear that. What we're saying is that this inner revolution where we stand for truth beyond division, that which is rest in, commune with, connect to, radiate as that which is undivided. That is the salvation of the world. If we continue battling good with evil, the evil that actually we believe to have power, it just goes on and on. Now's the opportunity to really move beyond that way of being, that way of seeing, beyond feeling sorry for, beyond pity, beyond what Kenpo Jigme calls idiot compassion, to what's real, the power of empty compassion. In other words, life itself expressing itself in complete and pure and utter harmony. What else would it do left to its own devices? We've come up with a lot of ideas around what it would do. Well, it would reward some, it would punish others. It would come up with schemes of Earth School and this, that, and the other thing. We've come up with a lot of ideas. But who knows what love has in store for us if we can be as that. freshness, beginner's mind. It's a very immediate experience, a very immediate experience. When it starts getting projected too far out, it doesn't have the capacity. So it's how Adyashanti in this book can say, wake up or perish, and in the very next sentence say, all is eternally well. All is eternally well. And the visions of war and horror are endless as long as the battle of good and evil persists.